Welcome to another Cardano update. Like always, make sure to check out our YouTube memberships and our Patreon if you want access to all of our charts and if you want access to, all of these updates that we have right here. We post a bunch of them every single day, and yeah, it's only $5, so yeah, check out the memberships. And Cardano right now seems to be in a second wave move down. Like I told you yesterday, here we formed a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 setup. This formed a first wave, and right now I told you this on the Discord server, but we need an ABC down, and by the looks of it we are getting one. The support is between 95.7 cents, which we already got below, and 85.4 cents. This is the 0.618 support level. If we drop below this level, it's not going to be good, and we will most likely drop to this level at 76 cents, so we do not really want to see a drop below this level. And where do I expect the C wave right here to go? Well, there are two options basically. We have the 0.382, which is at 91.6 cents, and then we have the 50% extension, which is at 88.4 cents. Of course, it could drop to the 618 to maybe test it, and from where we're at right now, that's only a 9-cent drop. And keep in mind, this is the 1-hour chart, so it's not gonna take too long, and I'm expecting this move to pretty much happen in the next couple of hours or maybe in the next couple of days or so. Don't expect this to take too long. And if we bounce right here, we are then in a third wave. We will be in a third wave move to the upside. This is the target zone for the third wave. Now keep in mind, there's going to be a lot of resistance at the $1.14 area, because here we got rejected many times. So even if we get above it to get to this target zone for the third wave, we will most likely get rejected again, and that will be a fourth wave move down, and then we will need a fifth wave move up. And once we get these 5 waves, I will finally be able to confirm that this second wave right here is in, because that will complete the fifth wave of this 1, 2, 3, 4 setup that we're getting right now, which means that the fourth wave is most likely in. And if it is, we are heading in a fifth wave right now, and the fifth wave could put us above the high right here, which is at $1.30, but we don't really have to break above that high. We just have to form 5 waves up, so we'll see if we do that or not. Like I said many times, if we do not manage to form 5 waves, we could always drop to 50 cents again to get another low in the second wave, or maybe some kind of double bottom. I've talked about this scenario multiple times already, and it's possible because we don't have 5 waves up, so this could always break down, and if it does, I will not be shocked. Now we also have a trend line on the chart, because Cardano is still in an uptrend, and maybe if we do break below support, I don't know if it will happen by the way, but if we do break below the 0.786 support level, which is pretty much the last major support level that we have, which is at 67.5 cents, maybe there is a chance that we bounce right here off the trend line and then we get the fifth wave. But I am not really gonna be a fan of that idea. Keep in mind, right now we are in a diagonal structure. This is a 1, 2, 3, 4 diagonal, so it's a very messy structure and you cannot really trust it. And you also have to be aware that this could turn into a much bigger A, B, C structure, and this could be the B wave right now. So I don't know if this is a fake out or not, but you have to be aware of all the possibilities. I also want to look at the bull market support band, and I want to talk about it for a second, because even though the red line is above the green line, we're actually still above the bull market support band, and this is actually very bullish, and it actually looks like something that we did in the previous cycle. And let me actually show you that example. So it looks like what we did over here, and I talked about this scenario. I told you that from a structure point of view, where we are actually down here, and I mean, if we zoom out on this, let me go on the weekly, I guess. If we zoom out, the structure is the exact same. I think you already know this, and we are here somewhere, which means that after we got across, we should not really have dropped, too much, and we did not really drop too much. Of course, we got this drop right here, but I mean, this drop also happened right here, and as you can see, after we got this drop right here, we went above the bull market support band, we tested it, and then we pretty much just went sideways for a couple of weeks, and then we bounced, and we got a 1-2 setup, and yeah, after that, the altcoin season started, and I think this is where we are at right now, which means that it could take a couple of weeks of just, sideways price action, or maybe we'll continue going up for a bit and then we go down, and after that we should get another cross on the bull market support band. I think the cross that we had right now happened like about a month ago or so. Let me actually check this out. Probably not a month ago. I mean, on the 4-hour it happened on February 16th, so we could just go sideways for another 30 days after that. So we could go sideways until March 16th or so, and then I'm expecting Cardano to, pretty much start the move to the upside. Now I would really like to see the 5 wave be able to be completed right now, because once we complete this 5th wave, you have to keep in mind this will only complete the first wave of the main third wave of the third wave. And I know I'm saying the word wave a lot, but I mean, so far the Elliott wave count has worked pretty good for me, so I'm just going to keep doing it. And also, this is a big channel about Elliott wave count, so I don't know what you're expecting. Of course, I'm covering some other stuff as well, not only Elliott wave, but I mean the Elliott wave count is very important as well. And yeah, basically these 5 waves up will only confirm the third wave, well, the first wave of the third wave right here, which means that after that we will need an ABC down, and that could be a pretty deep, you know, move to the downside. Of course, I'm not expecting it to take like weeks, but it could take a couple of days, and it should look something like this, which means that even if we get above the 0.618 resistance level right here, where we got rejected multiple times, we will most likely get rejected again after we complete these 5 waves, because we will need an ABC down. But then after that, and I think many people want me to put this on the shirt, after that we will start the third wave of the third wave of the third wave, and obviously that's gonna be the most impulsive move of the cycle, and that could put us at all-time highs. And like I said, from a structure point of view, we were right here, and here we tested the trend line, we got above it, and that pretty much triggered this huge move to the upside. And right now we are about to test the trend line. I mean, the trend line is at like $1.58 or so. It depends when we get to it. Maybe we'll get to it when it's like $1.60 or so, and if we get above it, I think the road to all-time high will be extremely fast. Now, I also want to talk about Bitcoin dominance. As you can see, Bitcoin dominance is going sideways, and this is actually very bullish because it's actually looking like what we did in the previous cycle. Of course, it's not a one-to-one copy to what we did here, but exactly 4 years ago in February, we just went sideways, and then we continued going sideways until the end of March, just like we are doing right now. I mean, we have pretty much been going sideways since the beginning of February, just like right here. And look at what happened after that. We started dropping, and maybe this will happen. Like I said, I'm expecting Bitcoin dominance to drop by the end of March, and if it does happen, it would just be a one-to-one copy to what happened over here, with even the top right here maybe being this top right here. So things are still looking extremely good in my opinion, and whether you like to believe it or not, Cardano actually has a chance to go up against Bitcoin dominance, because in the previous cycle, Cardano actually went up like 300% when Bitcoin dominance was doing this. So if we continue going sideways until the end of March, maybe this is when the Cardano move will actually happen. Maybe it will not happen when we're doing this, but there's also the possibility that Cardano just, you know, waits until we get something like this on the Bitcoin dominance chart, and then we get the altcoin season and Cardano goes up with the other altcoins. And I think no matter what happens right now, we are in a bullish scenario. Support levels have been respected multiple times, so it's only a matter of time until we get the third wave. Like I said, the minimum target for the third wave right here is $2.98, but it could overextend to the 2.272 extension, and that's at $4.25. In the previous cycle, if you look at where the third wave went to, the third wave actually got above the first all-time high right here, and we got to the 1.618 trend-based Fibonacci extension, and that's at like $2 or so. And if we do the exact same thing in this cycle, and I don't know if that will happen or not, but if we do, the third wave could actually get about $5. Is that going to happen? Well, I don't know. It's, you know, it's a possibility. How likely is it? I have no idea. Also, like I told you a million times already, I mean, from the 2018 top to the 2021 top, it took about 1,337 days, which means that from, you know, the 2021 top to the next top, it would have to take another 1,337 days to get another top. And I mean, that would put us in, let's say, at the end of April, which means that Cardano could be at all-time highs by then if we just copy, you know, the time here. But I don't know if we will do that or not. It really depends on what Bitcoin dominance will do. I also want to talk about the ADA Bitcoin chart. ADA Bitcoin is currently, I mean, it's just going sideways. And I did tell you a possibility that we get another low right here or some kind of double bottom before we continue. And that could still happen because we don't really have 5 waves up here. I mean, if you zoom in on this, if you go on the 4-hour chart, the third wave that we have did not really get to the 200% extension, so this could start failing now, and if it does, we could drop below this low right here, which could put us at like 500 satoshis again, so keep that in mind. I also want to look at Bitcoin for a second. Bitcoin is getting rejected by the bull market support band again. It keeps putting in lower highs, which means that it's likely that it's gonna drop very soon, and I know not many people want to hear that, but you have to keep in mind we kind of need to get a drop like this if we want Bitcoin to actually start bouncing. I know in the previous couple of cycles Bitcoin was always going up, but this cycle is obviously different. We are not doing what we did in the previous couple of cycles, and that's okay as long as we still get, you know, a top by the end of May, and then we go down during the summer, and then we get another top by the end of November. And I mean, the scenario of Bitcoin getting to like $255,000 by the end of the year, it's still likely, but it's going to start becoming less and less likely if we do not start going up soon. And maybe in this cycle we'll only get to the 2.618 resistance right here, and that's at $190,000. And I mean, of course, that's not going to be the most bullish thing in the world, because this will prove that Bitcoin gets diminishing returns, and I know many people already know that, but some people did not want to believe that, myself included. And I mean, it turns out even though we went up the entire cycle, we are still underperforming compared to what we did in the previous cycle, even though in the previous cycle we had a pandemic during the bull market. So yeah, we are not doing too great, but you have to keep in mind that Bitcoin is also not doing too bad either. I mean, it's still on a very big uptrend, and we still have a support zone on the chart for the fourth wave move down. We could even drop to like $75,000. I've talked about the scenario many times. I mean, we could even drop to like $69,000, and I think this drop will actually happen because we got rejected by the bull market support band many times, and usually when we do this, we drop after that. I'm also expecting Ethereum to drop very soon because it's just not bouncing after, I mean, it got to the 50% extension right here, the support zone for the fourth wave, and it's just not going up, which means that at some point we will have a crazy wick, and I think that could put us at about $1,700, maybe even $1,400, and then after that we will get the fifth wave. In my opinion, I think the fifth wave will happen no matter what, which means that Ethereum should be at all-time highs by the end of the year. And yeah, I mean, that's all I have for this video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to check out our YouTube memberships and our Patreon if you want access to all of our charts, and if you want access to our daily Discord updates. Like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.